Hello everyone, this is my deck list for 6 Sams. This is an update to the list last month. I made a lot of changes I felt were necessary to the deck, and this is now how I feel like you should play the deck. So I'll just get right into it. So triple Fuma, that's standard from last time. If you want to know about like the 6 Sam ratios and why I play them the way they do, I explained in the last video. So yeah. Two Kageki. Kind of have to play two. Two Elder and one Kagemusha. I was playing two before, but I cut it down to one for a reason I'll show later in the video. It's still fine to play 2-2. I don't. It's not like I cut it because it was bad. It's just I really needed to find space for the new card. But yeah, Nat Beast is a win condition, so you have to play these guys. Inishi, this guy's so good. At locals the other week, I topped because of this guy and Valor. Those cards were really fucking good. Three Keyzons, standard. Grandmaster, another Keyzon, standard. So this is the card I ended up putting. So if you've been watching my YGO Pro videos, you know that this card has been in and out of the deck like a million times. I have a love-hate relationship with this card, but I eventually just decided to run it permanently. This is what I cut the Kagemusha for. When you're playing the grind game, this card is really helpful, and it's just a combo extender. So I'm like 50-50 with this card, but I feel like you kind of have to play it. But I still think the other Secret 6 Sams like Kizaru and the other legendary ones like Shinai and Mizuhu, I still think those guys are really bad and inconsistent and cloggy. So yeah, this is like the only one worth running besides Fuma. Great asceticism. It just gets your combos going. This card's a lot better than Smoke Signal because it just straight up plays the monster from your deck. And it's not like you can normal summon a bunch in this deck, so it's like you have to play cards like this so that you can keep going and going and going. Especially when there's so much draw in the deck, like playing multiples of this isn't bad. Three Smoke Signal. Searcher, standard. Rhoda, standard. Dojo, Triple United, Gateway, standard. Bomb cards, like playing a second Gateway, standard. Three Gold Sword, three Cursed Sword, one Broken Sword, standard engine. So I made changes to my defensive options. I'm going to show you now. So I'm playing Triple Valor. This card was amazing in tournament last week. Like I topped because of this card in Inishi. If you have Impertinence, I recommend just play Triple Impertinence like over this. Or if you want, play Valor and Impertinence because both those cards are just like really good right now. Which is really good against everything. It stops ESOL. It's even good against Sky Strikers when you Valor the Kagari so they can't get their engage back and it just stops their turn. Just like, it's a very good hand trap right now. I just can't afford Impertinence, so I'm playing Valor. But yeah. I play double evenly. I ended up getting the evenly matches. I'm playing two in the main deck. This card is so good in this deck. Oh my god. And it makes going second like even better. Like I don't know like how many times now I've gone like second where I just evenly my opponent and then I make a huge, and then this deck when it just makes a bunch of negate, you know, Xian, Nat Beast, whatever. Right after that, it's just really hard for your opponent to come back from that. It's like auto win. This card, it's even a samurai card. It's like this card was made for this deck. Great card. Great fucking card. So yeah, that's what I changed about the main deck. So basically like the defensive options changed. But the biggest change that I made to the deck was the extra deck, which I'm going to show you guys now. I made 2 Xian, standard. 1 Noteria Beast, standard. I play a Barkion, but this will, once June 26th comes, when Summon Sorceress is released, I'm going to cut this for a Summon Sorceress. I just play it now because it helps a little bit with the Altergeist matchup. One of the reasons I made evenly matched, because like our worst matchup is Altergeist, so you want to have cards like really good generic cards in the main deck, like evenly matched, because it destroys Altergeist, and then evenly matched is never bad. Like you can always use that card, no matter what you're playing against. But it's like especially good against Altergeist. And that's why I play this too, because of the back row in that deck. Trishula, bomb card. This deck is standard in this deck, I feel like. Yeah, because you can make Trishula super easily. Saryuja, combo extender, sculpting your hand. Borreload, outs cards. A lot of decks have problems dealing with this. Yeah. Now the main, I'm gonna show you guys the main things that changed. Right. Well, I'm gonna show you that part last. So yeah, so like the 2 ESOL standard, great, and a lot of people are cutting this to 1. Again, I don't agree with that. Like, I don't know. This card helped me play the grind game because like I would just get swords and like draw like every turn, and it's especially when you're stunning your opponent with like Veilers and stuff. A lot of times I noticed in my locals when I topped, like I only played against tier 1. I played against Sky Strikers and I played against Goki, and like the only like non-tier 1 decks I played were really strong, like Spiral, etc. And a lot of times in my matches I noticed that ESO a lot of times stayed alive afterwards because like I was just stunning them so much. When you have like cards like Xian on the field and like Veilers in hand and stuff. So like a lot of times it stays alive, and it's just and if it does die, you want that second one on the field to keep going, to help you play the grind game. Yeah, so like I feel like 2 should be like standard. And then I play the 1 Mermaid to out the Ibli. And I'm going to show you guys the main changes is these 5 cards. So I'm playing the Nightmares now. I don't play Unicorn because Unicorn in testing was never good. And even in the tournament, I never made it. At a friendly tournament we did, it came up like twice. But then when I actually played it in locals, it like never came up, so it was never good making it first because that draw thing is almost irrelevant, because like the turn 1 boards this deck wants to make are like really unbreakable, like if you have like full on combo, so like Unicorn doesn't really help you do that anyway. So like these are like the best ones to play, plus these 2 are graded cards in like a grind game. They're really good utility. So yeah, and like and now let me explain this. This card is single-handedly won me so many games. Like a lot of times in tournament, like I would always see like, oh man, I have Curse Sword and Fuma in my hand. I wish I just had Linkuriboh to proc my Curse Sword. And I ended up just playing it for that reason. And it ended up doing so much more than that. So not only am I proccing my swords, it's also just a great card. Like, it has great utility. So now moving to the side deck. Triple cherries, and the Shizuku for the cherries. Uh, Great card against the Sky Striker deck. The reason we don't play the Kagura, even though it's the better option, I explained it in the other video. Asceticism is the card we want to see that like does a lot of work, and this card makes Asceticism not live, so you want to get rid of this one, and it still slows your opponent down anyway. So yeah, like my round 1 against Sky Strikers, I cherried them and like it was over. I play triple draw. This card is great in the Spiral matchup because Quick Fist is essentially Stratos. They just keep summoning 1 million times, searching 1 million times. So it's like back in the day with heroes would do with Stratos. And if you just stop their turn, if you just drop this, it stops their turn, and like you can just like kind of kill them. Because like a board of like Quick Fix, and set 1 back row or something is like not that intimidating. So yeah, this card is really good in that matchup. It's also good against Spiral, but I'm realizing now I'm not siding this in against Spiral because a lot of times like I don't want to side out my engine cards, and like 35 cards in this deck is your engine. So when I'm siding in, I'll just side in like maybe like another evenly and more my winter cherries against the deck. So a lot of times I don't even bring this in against Sky Strikers, but I don't bring in winter cherries against Sky Strikers. I mean against Spiral because double helix they end up not hurting that much, and this just hurts them way more. So like against that deck, I'll bring this in versus cherries, and vice versa. I'll bring cherries versus draw and the Sky Striker matchup. This is something I'm just trying right now. It's been okay. Not really much to say about it. It's just a good going second card. If they don't, a lot of times when people are making their extra link, they link away the goblin so it never stays on the field, and you can mind control like the griffin or whatever's co-linking everything. It's usually like a griffin, and if you take the griffin, you can do stuff now because your special summon monsters can activate their effects. And I wanted to try something that wasn't Ross Fear mode. Because Ross Fear mode a lot of times was never good for me. Like I'd rather just play like hand traps, again like cherries, draw, veilers in the main deck. Cards that just outright stop the board from even happening versus Ross Fear mode, which is more of a reactive card. So yeah. And I have 3 Call by a Grave in the side deck. You know, we're in a format with like a billion hand traps. So, when I'm playing against someone who's maining like 9 to 12 hand traps, or siding in like 9 hand traps against me, I want to bring this in against them. So, yeah. 2 Twin Twisters, back removal. This is for the Altergeist matchup mainly. And I side into the 3rd evenly. But yeah, and that's the deck list. I hope you like these changes, and thanks for watching. Peace.